So welcome everybody to this beautiful family of Illuminations. Some of you I have known for quite a long time. Some of you have been together in this journey for a few months, few years, and some of you are new in the family. So welcome all. So let me start with this. Today the topic is breaking negative thinking. So I'll start with this. Hi Vibhuti. Yes. Okay.
Hello, Navana.
Hello. Vibhuti, can you mute yourself so there is no background noise? Yeah, wonderful. I see Bobrik is having some issues with the sound. Maybe you can leave and again join back. Okay, some people are having issues with the sound. Is everybody else, can they listen properly? Is it fine? Can you just raise your hands? Okay, fantastic. So only few people are having issues with the sound. Maybe you can leave the meeting and then again join back. Hi, Vaishali. Hi. Hi, Kamyani. Okay, let's just start. So, yes, Illuminations just said you need to join the audio from your system. To make sure that your settings are in the correct order, that you're joining the audio from your system and you will be able to hear. Perfect. Okay. So let's get on with the session because we have got only 1 hour in hand and I'm sure everybody. Let's start with this. Once there is this wonderful spiritual seeker.
Illumination, এটা দুবাইয়ের সবচেয়ে বড় একটা সেন্টার, ঠিক আছে? মেডিটেশনের এই সব করা।
I think this is Papiya's voice. Can you put yourself in mute? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's start with the session. There is this wonderful spiritual seeker, a very young man, and he had many questions about life. He had many questions about the universe. He had many questions about God. So in his search for his answers, he went to many teachers, many spiritual masters. Anybody told him there is this master, go there. He would go there. Anybody would tell him there is this wonderful workshop, this event happening, go there, you will find your answers. He would go there. He spent in meditation for days, weeks, for months, searching for answers. When he was not satisfied, he even went for very rigid, rigorous discipline of spiritual practice, looking for answers. So one day he met this person and this person tells him, I have some good news for you. There is this spiritual master on top of the mountain. And this master can answer any question you may have, whether it is about life, God, universe. This master can answer any question. So this young man was thrilled and he was like, that's amazing, that's great. How can I go to this master? How can I meet this master? So this man said, I can tell you how to get there, but there are 3 conditions that you have to fulfill. Then only the master will meet you. He says, okay, what are the 3 conditions? So this person says, the first condition is that the road to the master is very tough. It is a hike in the mountain and the hike is very steep and the journey is not going to be smooth. There will be a lot of difficulty, obstacles and extremities. Are you ready to handle all that? The young man says, yes, of course, I will. I am committed to find my answers. So I can handle it. I agree with your first condition. What is the second condition? He says the second condition is that the journey for answer, this self journey, is the journey alone. It's a solo journey. You cannot be having any other person to accompany you in this journey. You have to go alone by yourself. The young man says, yes, I agree. I will go by myself. What is the third condition? The person says, the third condition is that once you reach the top of the mountain and you complete the journey, you are allowed to ask only one question. The young man said, I understand and I agree with the third condition as well. So tell me now, how do I get there? The person gave him the roadmap, the direction to guide him. The young man went off by himself in this journey. And yes, that person, that guide was absolutely correct. The journey was tough. There was extremities of weather. There were days he went hungry. There were days there were blizzards. There were strong storms. And in spite of that, this young man was so committed, so passionate, so certain about his journey that he did not stop. He did not turn back. He did not give up. And one fine morning, he was finally on top of the mountain. He was in front of the master. Now, when he meets this master, imagine what his reaction would be after such a long journey by himself. He should be overjoyed. He was very much in joy, but he was very surprised. He was astonished. Why? Because he had expected the spiritual master to be a very wise old man wearing a white robe with white beard and white hair. But instead, what he saw was a beautiful, young, lovely woman standing there. So this man had only one question that he was allowed to ask as per the third condition. And can you imagine what he asked? If anybody can imagine, send me in the chat a liner. Nobody have any answer? Do you think he asked about life? Do you think he asked about God? He was a seeker, he was a spiritual seeker who has spent years. He asked this young lady, no, why are you a woman? He asked this young lady, are you single or married? Welcome to the world of thoughts and emotions. No matter how much of clarity, certainty, confidence, passion you might have towards reaching your goal, but if you haven't worked on your world of your mind and your emotions, you can go up to the 10th floor and all it takes is a fraction of a second and you are from the 10th floor fallen flat on the ground floor. This is the foundational block of our journey, of our progress, of our growth, of our evolution in every level of our life. Whether you want to have success in relationship, in career, in work, in finance, in spirituality, in your own self, this, your mind, is your foundational block. Now, right now, currently, the economic times, the world scenario that we are going through, it is a very delicate time. It is a very sensitive time for all of us, for our emotions, for our thoughts, our mind, our body, our finances. It is a very crucial time. And each one of us are going through something. If you are a business owner and your business is on hold, you are going through something. If you have lost a job, you are going through something. If you have a job and you are looking for a promotion, you are expecting a progress, and that is on hold and you are worried, you are going through something. If you had invested a lot of money in the stock market and you have lost a lot, you are going through something. And if you are in a relationship and you are going through uncertainty, tension, you are going through something. And let's say that everything in your life is perfectly okay, and you are financially stable, your relationship is smooth, you're around your loved ones, and your career is going well, and everything in life is going smooth. But when the entire world, not just one community, one city, one country, but 7 billion people is vibrating in a frequency of fear and worry and anxiety and panic, you are still going through something. And it has nothing to do with you, but you are going through something. Each one of us is having their own story right now. And this is why, Einstein, he said that everything in life is about vibration. I had put that on the video. Some of you might have, heard that video before you registered for this. And Esther Hicks added to it that nothing is given to you or denied to you by anybody or anything. Everything that comes to your life is the virtue of your vibration. And if you're a new generation person, you must have heard of Robin Sharma, the monk who sold his Ferrari. And he said that everything has occurs twice, first in the mind and second time in reality. So this is how the vibration works in our life. Our every thought is emitting a vibration. And we are spending, years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60 years, our entire lifetime to get out of this negative thinking, to break out of this uncertainty that is caused by a negative thinking. But what is going wrong? We are trying so many strategies, so many tools, so many approaches, but we are spending decades to be able to come out of it. Now, some people, yes, they find comfort in that pattern of negative thinking because it has become a habit for them. But for you, those of you who are today in this seminar, you are not one of them. Because in this 1 hour, you could have done something different. You could have, spent your time with your family. You could have read a book. You could have watched something on Netflix. But you made that choice to come and join this seminar. So obviously, you already made a commitment that you want to turn your life around. You want to break out of this negative pattern of thinking. Now, in order to break out of this negative pattern of thinking, first, we have to get a few facts correct. Why? Because when you are in a battlefield and you have an opponent, in order to win the battle, you need to know very well the details, the nitty-gritty of the weaknesses and the strength of your opponent. So here, you and your thoughts, you versus your thoughts. So let's check some facts out first. First of all, if science is concerned, when we look at the scientific data, we are having 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts that are passing by our mind every day. And 80% of those thoughts are negative, and 95% of those thoughts are in a repeat pattern. Now, if we look at that data, it's insane. The number is insane. Like if somebody tells you that you have to monitor, you have to be the guard and monitor 60 to 70,000 thoughts that is passing by your brain every day in 24 hours, it is practically impossible. It's insanity. It just doesn't work that way. So what can we do? The good news is there is something. We don't need a lot of strategies. We need one single strategy, one right approach, one right insight, one right way of communicating to our own self. And that can compress decades of work in a very short time. So point number one, and this is something maybe all of you should write down, because if you are taking notes, it is extremely, extremely important. That is, your negative thinking is not based upon facts. Your negative thinking is based upon the meaning that you are giving to your facts. Okay, I'm going to repeat it. Your negative thinking is not based on facts. It is based on the meaning that you are giving to the facts. What do I mean by that? I'll try to explain it in a very, very simple way. Okay. Okay. Very simple way, which is during the British rule of time, a simple story, a British rule of time, two British officials were sent to the continent of Africa. They were asked, find out what is the opportunity to make profit by selling shoes in Africa. The two officials went, they did a market survey, they spoke to many merchants, they spoke to potential customers, they came back to Britain, they were asked, did you do their job? Both of them nodded their head, yes sir, we did our job. So what is the feedback? The first official said, sir, I have surveyed the market in detail, and I realize that there is no opportunity of profit to make in Africa because nobody wears shoes over there. The second official answered, sir, I believe there is a fantastic opportunity to make a lot of profit and income in Africa because nobody wears shoes there. So you see, the fact remains the same, that nobody wears shoes in Africa, but two people gave two different meaning to the same fact. So ask yourself, what is the meaning that you are giving to the fact that is being thrown at you by life at the moment? Now, the second question comes here. Who determines the meaning? Is it autopiloted, or are we consciously doing it? The fact is, for most people, till now, it is running on autopilot, because our brain is an ancient software system which is 2 million years old. It was designed 2 million years ago, friends. So it was designed for your survival. Your brain was not designed for your happiness, for your fulfillment. If you are going to depend on this ancient software system, what do you think are your chances for fulfillment and happiness in your life? What are your chances for positive thinking? Because it is the habit of the brain. The brain is designed that way. The brain is always going to look for danger. The brain is always going to look for what is going wrong where. So it can take you to the fight or flight mode. So you have to stop your brain from taking on that survival mode. Does that make sense? Like, just raise your hand if you, if you agree. So I know you are there with me. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Thanks. It is a little different trying to do this online than, face-to-face, that physical interaction. Okay. So the good news is we can train our brain. Now, what is happening right now is that there is no relation between us and our mind. For how many of us it happens, we want our mind to think in one way, but the mind think in different way. The mind thinks in another way. We want the mind to think, think positive, think positive, think positive, but the mind goes in another direction. Why? Because we have never learned to develop a relation between ourselves and our mind. What do I mean by this way? Let's say that I don't know you. You are a stranger to me and I see in the street and I come up to you and I tell you, hey, excuse me, can you give me 200 bucks? You would be like, hello, no, you. Why should I give money to you? I don't even know you. Because I don't even have that relation with you. So there is no trust between you and me, that there is no bonding between you and me. But if I know you, we know each other for a couple of months, for a couple of years, and I come to you and I say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you give me 200 bucks? You'll be like, yeah, sure, Navana, definitely. Because there is a relation between you and me. So you have to develop a relation between yourself and the brain. And yes, it takes time. It takes time. But you know, you don't go to a gym and overnight you expect that you will wake up in the morning with muscles. So these are brain muscles, and it takes a little bit of time and patience and perseverance, but it gives you results and guaranteed results. So one thing that I ask everybody to do this, step number one is, first of all, find out, are you a body to mind person or you are a mind to body person? Are you a body to mind person or you are a mind to body person? Note that. Okay. Because one size does not fit all. If somebody tells you keep on doing deep breathing and your thoughts will be in control, it might work for some people, it might not work for everybody. So this is the trick here. This is the gap here. Why things do not work, not why if some strategies work for some people, but not for everyone. When I say you are a body to mind person, for most people, let me tell you this, from all the clients that have been working for the last 15 years, for most people, they come back to me and they say, I have done some self-reflection and I think I'm a body to mind person. Mind to body people are fewer in number. Okay, body to mind is that when you control the physiology of your body, physiology is a long term, but the state of your body, you control your thought process. Okay, which means, for example, if everybody try this, just, you know, for a second, just close your eyes. Just for a second, close your eyes. And visualize the moment when you felt very proud. One moment in your life when you felt proud of some achievement. It can be a moment in your recent past. It can be a moment at your work. It can be a moment in your childhood when you won a game or somebody acknowledged, applauded your achievement and you felt very proud. Feel that excitement within you. Feel that moment of pride within you. And what is that breathing pattern? Notice that breathing pattern at that moment. Was it deep? Was it long? Was it shallow? Was it short? How was your chest? How was your shoulders? Follow me through the process. Then only you will see the results. Okay, you can open your eyes. This is just to show you, you know, because every thought you are thinking, they are like waves, you know, they are waves like you are sending out. And let's say I am like sitting like this and my shoulder like slouched like this. And what kind of waves do you think I'll be sending out to the universe? The kind of waves you are sending out, that's the kind of waves you are going to be catching. Okay, so the first thing you can do is change the state of your body. Pay attention to your breathing. When you are angry, is your breathing long? Is your breathing deep? Or is your breathing short? Your breathing is shallow. Change the rhythm of your breathing. And if you can hold on to this new state for 17 seconds, you have already done your part. Is that like feasible to ask? Can you give that much of commitment of 17 seconds to hold on to a new state? Okay. Yeah, Vaishali. Yes, in the subconscious mind is automatically taking over. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so there is this simple process. For example, in Kriya Yoga, I see there are a lot of classes of Kriya Yoga in Dubai that's happening. I don't know, if you are already taught in those classes, if you are taking lessons on Kriya Yoga, but this is a very simple process in Kriya Yoga. What you can do, it's called double breathing. That is, the first two breaths is short. Let me show it to you. The first inhale is short, the next second inhale is long, the first exhale is short, and the next second exhale is long. And inhale is through the nose and exhale is through the mouth. And you can practice this anywhere you are, whether you are waiting in a queue in a supermarket or you are at work. What it does, it immediately shifts your pattern of thinking. If there is any negative emotion, you are feeling frustrated, you are feeling stuck, you are feeling irritated, you are feeling down or low or sad, it immediately shifts your pattern and it energizes you, it gives you a renewed state. So this is how you do it. The first inhale is short and the second inhale is long. Okay, you can try it right now. Okay, even if you're standing in a supermarket in the queue, you can do it in a very subtle way. Okay, you will immediately find a change of state, a shift of emotion. Okay, there is a book of mine that is coming out, Emotional Mastery. You will find, get that book, you will find a lot of these simple techniques over there to change your shift anywhere and at any time. Okay, there is a lot of technique of energy medicine which is given over there. Other breathing techniques, for example, if you're a body to mind person and you are feeling down, make your inhalations longer and stronger than your exhalations. Try it for 17 seconds. That is all I am asking you. And you will see the result. You do not need to believe it, you need to experience it, and these techniques are very experiential. Now, if it is the other way around, if it is you are a mind to body person, which fewer people are, what is mind to body? Basically, our body is restless, but our mind is even more restless. So if you can control your mind, whatever command you give your mind, after that your cells will listen to your commands. I personally, I am a more mind to body person. I remember there was a time that I was having some physical pain in my body and I was in the middle of a long distance travel. And first of all, medication, painkillers were not working. And I didn't want to bombard my system with allopathic medicine. So what I did is I connected to my cells and I just communicated to my cells that please wait out for 48 hours. And literally, the pain vanished. It came back after 2 days because that's what I instructed the cells. So you can practice mind to body as well through self-hypnotism, progressive relaxation. Those who come to my sessions normally, they know what I'm talking about. You can come and learn the technique from me as well. Now, the next thing is what I'm going to tell you is the next step is, guys, stop judging yourself. I get a lot of messages on that. Okay, stop judging yourself if you want to break out of negative thinking. The society is already doing a lot of judgmental work for you. You do not need to bring it on yourself. The day I stopped judging myself, trust me, I felt so free, and I felt I could really, my progress started that day. So stop judging yourself. And please, no more pity parties. Okay, what I mean by pity party, a lot of just making yourself a bundle in the corner and crying for hours. You deserve better than that. If you are going through a certain emotions, give yourself a time, command your mind that this is the time you have to acknowledge the emotion, to go through the emotion, and then you are done. I remember there was a time when I was with my fiance together for 12 years, and 12 years is a very long time. We were supposed to be getting married, and then one fine morning, he was killed in a car accident in Atlanta. And I still have his message on email the night before that he sent that I love you very much. And the next morning he was gone. There was no time to even say goodbye to each other, to say those final words. But I told myself, I told my mind that 48 hours I give myself to cry. Cry as much as you want. But after that, it's over. That is the deadline. And those 48 hours, the next 2 days, yes, I cried. I cried like anything. I did not eat. I did not sleep. I did not talk to anybody. I locked myself in one room and I cried and cried and cried. After that, 1 year down the line, I looked back and suddenly one day I was like, I miss him. I do have emotions still, and I do remember him. And how come I don't cry? Tears just don't well up in my eyes when I think of him. And it suddenly dawned on me that what is happening is actually I had commanded my mind that 48 hours is what you get to get over this emotion. And my mind listened. So, yes, once you develop a relation with your mind listens to you. Okay, so yes, stop judging yourself and know that you are not perfect, and it is okay. Nobody is born perfect in this world. So you are doing your best. As long as your conscience is free when you are going to bed at night, that I have done my best, my conscience is free, you have done your part. Okay, that I hope that it makes sense. Somebody gives me a thumbs up somewhere. Yeah, great. Thank you, Natalie. It's lovely to have the interaction, so I get your feedback, but online, yes, it has its many benefits, but every coin has its two sides. So it's not like a workshop where you can have the physical interaction. So yes, somebody actually asked me, I don't know if she has joined today. She sent me a message on WhatsApp when I asked her, stop self-judgment. And she said, yeah, you are correct. I do a lot of self-judgment. And I said that, go do self-evaluation, do self-assessment, but not self-judgment. And she said, what's the difference? What do you mean self-assessment, self-evaluate, but not self-judgment? I'm like, what it means is basically don't beat yourself up. As I said, nobody is perfect. None of us are perfect. And that's the beauty of us. That's what we are called being human. Know your strength and know your weaknesses, and what your weaknesses are, manage your weaknesses. And once you manage your weakness, you have a commitment to work on yourself. It's all about growth, and growth equals progress, and progress equals happiness, and happiness is fulfillment. Okay, so self-evaluate, self-assessment is very much needed, but not self-judgment. Now, the other thing that I want to say to break negative thinking, very important, and this is very, very, very important for all of us, is that cancel your subscriptions to other people's issues. What I mean by that, I am not asking you guys to become selfish, but love yourself and live better. That's what I am saying. I know a lot of you have reached out to me in the last 2 days saying that, you know, you have your close members of the family who are in hospital right now, not for virus, but for other issues. And you have old parents to support, you have family members to support who need you, and they must not feel that they are left alone by themselves. But at the same time, realize that you have to be on a higher ground to lift up somebody from a lower ground. A blind man cannot lead another blind man to the well. If you are trying to stay afloat with both of you and you are feeling that the weight is becoming too heavy and you need to come up for a breath of fresh air, then you must come up for a breath of fresh air. Otherwise, both of you will drown. So make sure that you are there for a support, but you are not making another person's baggage your own emotional baggage. Certain people in your life, you have to be there for them. Make a time out of your day that this much amount of time I am going to give to this person. And after that, this much of time is for my own self. It is not. Understand one thing, your personal space is very sacred. Your personal space is like a garden. And what do you do in your garden, in your house? Do you bring in weeds over there? No, right? You want the most beautiful, the most colorful, the most vibrant flowers to grow in your garden. So your personal space, be very selective of who you are letting in. Okay, that makes sense? Yeah? Awesome. Okay, the next thing is breaking a negative thinking is learn to watch your thoughts pass by. Now this everybody says, oh, this is so difficult, Navana. I have been trying to do it. I've been trying to meditate and this doesn't happen. Look, take it like an entertainment. You know, watch the there will be, you know, in the beginning there will be for some time you get engrossed in it, you get identified with your thoughts. It is okay, but then the moment of awareness comes and you realize, oh wow, look at what my minds are thinking, what kind of thoughts are passing by. Wow, that's so cool, that's amazing. Because trust me, none of these thoughts are yours, because none of these thoughts are original. All these thoughts have been floating around in the universe like waves, even before it came to your mind. Somehow you had certain waves and you just caught those waves. They were floating there before you were born in this planet, and they will continue to float around even when you have changed your state. Okay, so just, you know, watch your thoughts, enjoy the process, take it as an entertainment. The moment the awareness hits in, there is already a detachment between you and your thoughts. The thoughts lose their stronghold over you, and with practice you will see that first maybe you are spending, you know, 15 minutes a day engrossed in your thoughts, something, you know, before the awareness comes. But as you keep practicing, you will find that, you know, instantly a thought comes, within 15 seconds you're like, wow, that thought is coming. And you know, I'll tell you my personal secret how I do it, and I find it so much of fun. Let's say I'm very angry, you know, something has happened and somebody has triggered me. I am a human, I'm not perfect. If I was perfect, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I'll be somewhere else, maybe, you know, in another planet, I don't know where. But yeah, so somebody triggers me, and probably, you know, I get angry, and immediately the awareness comes in that, oh, I have anger. I am not angry, but I have anger. Mr. Anger has visited me, so I personify them. I'm like, oh, Mr. Anger has come. Let's have a tea together. Let's see what Mr. Anger has got to tell me. I ask Mr. Anger for a message, and I find out, oh, this is what has happened. I felt my personal space was violated, and that's why Mr. Anger is coming to visit me. So what do I need to do? State of action. You see where I'm getting at? It's like a game. Make it as a game. Make it a fun play. Don't let life bog you down. Enjoy the process. So the next step that I'm going to talk about in breaking the negative thinking is reframing. Very important. A lot of you are therapists and coaches, and you know what I'm talking about. And reframing, what I mean over here is, no matter what happens to you, use the statement, this is a blessing. Find your own magic words. Say, this is wonderful, this is great, this is a miracle. For me, I always use the words, this is a blessing. Okay, and I'm not asking you to do it technically, you know, without any emotion. This is a blessing, this is a blessing, this is a blessing, and the voice tells you, are you crazy? This doesn't look like a blessing. Okay, but from a space of deep spiritual understanding. And what I mean by that is that, look, none of us are able to see the bigger picture. We are viewing the world, our perspective is as per our conditioning and as per our experience, and which is very limited. Sometimes something happens to us which seems to be very negative. For example, a relationship doesn't work out, we lose a job, a business doesn't work out, and we think, oh my God, I'm in this dark cloud, I'll never be able to come out of it. Or this is something so negative happening to me, and I have worked so much behind it, and this didn't work out. But you know, 3 years down the line, you look back and you say, thank God it happened to me, or I wouldn't be here today. So we are unable to see that bigger picture. So how do you do that? Replace the fear with faith. Have faith that there have been many ups and downs and twists and turns in your life, but there is a bigger force that is out there that have been holding your hand, and that force will continue to hold your hand. Because if there was no bigger force, if you are the one who were doing everything, there is so many things that you had planned at this time, but not everything that you plan works out. A bigger plan is in action. Now, some of you might tell me that, you know, it is easy when small things don't work out and you say this is a blessing. Okay. But when something big hits you in life, how can you say at that point that this is a blessing? And I'll tell you from my own personal experience, there's so many personal stories that I can share with you, that when my fiance passed away in an accident, and very soon after that, my mother was very sick with lungs fibrosis, and there was no medical cure for that. And I stayed back with her, and I nursed her day and night. And she eventually passed away at the same time, and I suddenly find myself completely alone. She was the last thread of family the so-called family I had in my life, and she was gone. And imagine the void that hits you there. And you come back home every night in a dark apartment, and there is nobody waiting for you to say, let's have dinner, or how was your day. And at that time, I went into complete self isolation. I was totally disconnected from everybody. I went through this gloomy dark period, and nothing had any meaning for me. And I remember I called up Dr. Newton, who is, he's an amazing spiritual master and amazing regression therapist, and my teacher, my mentor as well. And I had called him at that time, and he told me, Navana, this this is this is a disguised blessing for you. Now you are truly ready for your life purpose. And I could not understand him. I'm like, what do you mean? I feel devastated, I feel lost, I feel so hurt right now. What is a disguised blessing for me? But now, at this point of my life, when I look back and I see that is a blessing for me. I have the opportunity right now to go to the Himalayas and spend 5 months of my time over there, learning from the yogis over there, and come out to the world and share it with thousands of people. I do not have anybody waiting for me, who's depending on me and who's asking me, where am I going, when am I coming back? So every coin has two sides. When I first today, anybody who has attended my workshop in India, I have 40 people, 50 people who are signing up for the workshop. The room is completely full. But when I went for one of my first workshops, I remember in Delhi, and I had only one participant who had registered at that point, and I wasn't even sure, should I go, should I not, should I cancel the workshop? And I called up one of my fellow therapists who was already in the field for he had been doing workshops for 10 years, and he had a lot of followers. And I asked him, what do you suggest? And should I cancel this workshop? And he said, no, Navana, you pay the money from your own pocket and go there with all the certainty and all the passion and give out your everything. And I did that. Yes, it was painful and it was expensive with only one person in the room, but it was a beginning for me. So again, it's the meaning that you are giving. We are living in a world of duality. Remember that. So there is two sides of every coin. So ask yourself, what is that meaning you are giving to your thought, to the fact? Okay. The last thing that I want to tell you is about shifting your focus. Now, I want you all to think about that one big force that you think can change the quality of your life. That one big gift from the universe, from God, from the creator, from all that is, whatever you call it. One big gift that you have, one biggest power that you have that you think can change everything for you in an instant. What is it? What do you think it is? You can write to me. You can tell me in the chat. Anybody?
Navana, jayashree here. The question is little not clear, Navana. You mean to say the strength in me, whatever I feel is the strength in me?
What is the big gift that you think? What is one power that you think that you have that can change your life?
Okay.
More knowledge, somebody has said. Yes, knowledge is power. Powerful heart, wonderful, Mallika, beautiful. It is, I will say, this is the power of choice. Okay, it is not as much as the situation and circumstances that is around you, but it is your power of choice that helps you to make that decision that creates a new destiny for you. Your power of choice helps you to do three things. One, to decide where you put your focus. Second, what meaning you are going to give to your focus. And third, what action you are going to take. If you look back in your life right now, you can think of maybe one or even two decisions that you took that has brought you today. If you hadn't taken those decisions, your life would have been in a completely different direction. And I'm not just talking about negative decisions, positive decisions as well, in a positive way as well. I'm just trying to make you understand and feel the power of choice here. It can be something very small, maybe a book that you read or somebody you spoke who motivated you and inspired you so much you decided to change your profession, or decided to choose the profession that you took. Maybe it's a party that you made a choice to go, or a dinner that you made a choice to go, and you bumped into your life partner. You know, sometimes a very, very small choice which can create a very big impact for you. Like today, you have come to this seminar, you have made a choice. You are getting a new few learnings. You know, these new learnings, you will again make new choices tomorrow. With these new choices, you will make new behavior that will create new habit, that will make a new personality for you, which will give you new results. And that is going to give you a new experience, a new emotion, and again, new thoughts. And that's how the process of evolution carries on. Because understand, as I said, this earth is a planet of duality. There is always happiness and sadness, high and low, positive and negative. So within you, there will be always a battle between the two forces. The battle is never going to stop. Okay, but when a battle happens, what happens in a battleground? The strong force wins, and the weaker force, they lose. So it's your power of choice that is gonna make you win. Which thoughts do you choose to focus upon? Where do this power of choice come from? This willpower, how do you make it strong? It comes from your soul strength. And how do you increase your soul strength? Replace fear with faith. Connect to prayer. Connect to meditation. When your life is overwhelmed with responsibilities, and or you are sick, or you are paranoid with fear, even when you sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes for yourself, you bring yourself back to your center, back to your breath. You are freeing up space bit by bit every time. And you create a space that supports you in your journey, in your spiritual journey, your mental journey, your emotional journey. Okay. So now we have a little bit of time, and I wanted to do a little bit of process. So please join me in the process. And I'm going to take a few questions after that. I see some questions have come in. Okay. So everybody just close your eyes. Close your eyes. And take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Make an intention that with every breath, your body is relaxing more and more. Completely relaxed, comfortable, and feeling totally safe. Enjoy the feeling of wonderful relaxation. Now, as you are completely relaxed, Tune into a moment in your life where you felt the power and grace of a miracle. Breathe into your heart and step into a memory when some unexpected help came to you. A moment of grace, a moment of incident. It can be a very small moment from a recent past, from your work life, or from your childhood, or from a past relationship. A moment when you were not expecting came from nowhere. Somebody decided to help you. Feel the power and grace of that moment. Feel the gratitude of that moment. Shift to another moment now. A moment in your heart where you had a sense of achievement, a sense of success and pride. You accomplished something. Notice the surroundings around you in that moment of accomplishment. Feel that moment in every cell of your body. Feel that moment in your breathing pattern. Feel that moment in your emotion. That moment of achievement, the moment of accomplishment, the moment of pride. Breathe the way when you felt that moment of pride. Now bring in a moment from future, any future moment that you wish to achieve your goal, and see it being fulfilled. It can be a moment in your work, it can be a moment in your relationship or health. It can be a moment in your personal life. It can be a moment how you want to see yourself in the future. Feel that moment. Feel the power and grace of that moment. Center yourself in that moment. And tell yourself, repeat in your mind, I have comeback power. I have comeback power. I have comeback power. I believe in my strength. I believe in my strength. I believe in my strength. giving gratitude to that moment of accomplishment of future, to your future self. Slowly come back to here and now and open your eyes. Okay, wonderful. Welcome back. Now, I have given you a lot of information today to sink in, to integrate it. But the best results happen when you implement it. You might feel at times, friends, that I have all these strategies. I know what to do. Everything is going to be smooth. But trust me, it will not be smooth. There will be times when it will be rocky. And for that, you need to work on yourself continuously. Sometimes we don't see the change, the progress from yesterday and today. But when you look back from last year till 1 year, you see the graph changing. So you need to have that commitment. And everybody, you know, we don't have a lot of things in life. We probably have 7, 8 at the max things in life, but most people are majoring in minor things. So set your priorities right. Okay, don't put number 1 and number 3 and number 5 and number 2. Make a list of what is important for you. What is it that you need to give priority to? And then all you need to follow is clarity, certainty, confidence, action, and there you go, success. It's as simple as that. This is a very small part of my course that I actually do, which is lasts, you know, 1 full day and 2-day course as well, which is of energy defense and emotional mastery. But if you are coming to my course, you will get a lot more techniques. If you cannot join the course, at least get the book Emotional Mastery, because a lot is given there, you know, simple techniques on how to change your negative pattern of thinking and emotions. There is a lot given for energy diet, you know, how to maintain your state. So when suddenly something hits you, you don't fall back. You know, energy diet consists of, you know, different kinds of food that you can incorporate. You know, different food has different emotional attributes. For example, you want to incorporate cheerfulness in your life, have cherries. You know, these are ancient, yogic traditions, especially the time that we are going through now. Make sure you include a lot of papaya in your diet, because papaya is a fruit that shifts any emotions from darkness to light. It helps us to drop the resistance for change. Okay, so you will get a lot more details when you get that emotional mastery book. So, yeah. Where are the questions? I see. Thank you. Thank
Hi,
you.
Navana.
Yes. I see Jayashree had sent me a question. Jayashree, are you there?
Ma'am, I'm here. That was the answer that I gave when you said, what is that you feel?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I just gave that. I typed it for the answer that you asked us to give.
Oh, okay, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Kamini has given a question: how to command the mind to forget disrespectful behavior of a person, especially if the person is still with you under the same roof. Tell you something, normally when we do regression therapy, it is said that the strongest karmic ties you have with somebody is normally your spouse and your parents or children, in the other way, reverse order, because you have such karmic ties with them that finally God puts you under one roof, that now you sort it out. Everybody comes to life because there is a certain reason behind it. It's not a coincidence. And there is a karmic credit debit balancing that is going on. People are coming to your life either to support you, to give you some pleasure, or to give you some lesson or some pain. There is no third option. A karmic credit debit balancing is always going on. And once that balancing is done, universe is smart. Universe takes that person out of your life. It's as simple as that. Even before you are born, you are making the blueprint of your life. You decide, because look, in a soul level, you are very neutral and you are very objective, and you decide that in this lifetime I want to go through this and this life lesson so that my soul can evolve. In order to go through these life lessons, I will be going through these incidents in this life. And to make this incidents happen, some souls come into a soul contract saying that, oh, I have a balance with you to complete. So I will come in your life to give you the experience of this incident. But once we are born, the law of amnesia hits in this earth, and then we forget everything, and then we are like, why is this happening to me? Why am I have I why do I need to go through this pain? So in this case, what I would suggest is that you contact me personally. We have to go through it, to find out exactly what is the issue. And in a deep spiritual level, you have to work this out from your subconscious mind, because your conscious mind is only 3% of the brain. And consciously, no matter how many times you say, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, but in the subconscious mind, which is 97% of the brain, it does not seep in. So for deeper issues where there is more, deeper trauma that is involved, that has been there for many years, we need to work from the subconscious level. So it can be a regression, or it can be an inner child session. Again, I will tell you, either, you can join the workshop, you
Hi,
can come
Navana.
or just a second, or in the emotional mastery group, I have given how to work with your unconscious mind from your home as well. You can try that out, and I think that should answer your question. Yes.
Hi, Navana.
This is Sana.
Hello. Yeah, hi. Yes, Navana. How are
Yeah.
you? I hope everything's good. Navana, I had a friend. Since we're all going through a tough time, being locked down, our productivity is getting a hit. A lot of people are learning how to cook and just being productive, trying to kill time and whatever. But my friend told me that this lockdown is really getting a hit on my productivity, and I just feel everything is like out of structure. And so what can we say to her in these times? Like, what is the right thing to say for her to understand that we are going through a traumatic
I
time, and it's
understand.
okay
Yes,
to not
yes.
be productive. It's okay. You don't have to cook and bake new things. I think it's not important. It's an emotionally challenging time for all of us.
Yeah.
So what do you think? How do you see that as?
Yeah, it's a very valid question, Sana, and it actually relates to many of us right now. And there is a bad news and a good news for this. The bad news is that, right now, so many people are saying, okay, this is the time to go within and reflect on yourself and meditate. And honestly, somebody who has never done it in the lifetime, for them suddenly to close their eyes and to start meditating, especially when the entire world is going upside down, including your own world, it is not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because if your cup is full of poison, it will overflow poison. It is not going to overflow honey. So if you have been spending half of your life vibrating in the emotion of fear, then right now you are not going to suddenly start vibrating in the emotion of love. But on the other hand, the good news is that the moment awareness comes in, you have already taken the step. Because problem is when we don't know what the problem is. But once we know what the problem is, it is just very easy, because then you just implement the strategy. I'll tell your friend to start small step at a time. Don't put huge targets. Okay, so it's like, first day you decide that I'm going to run a marathon. It's not going to work, right? You will get overwhelmed, and at the end of the day, you will just end up not doing anything at all. So increase your willpower, the strength of your willpower, through small exercises. For example, you want to have that snack right now and you don't feel like working. You need to finish the project on your computer, but you don't feel like doing it. You want to have a snack, right? Try this exercise of stretching the willpower. Okay, I'm not going to have that snack right now. I'm going to wait another 10 minutes before I have it. Okay, this way you are training your mind to listen to you with small objectives. Okay. And then you give, bigger goals. That I'm not even going to move from here until I finish the project, which can take another next 1 hour. So start with small goals. Have one slice of pizza instead of trying to have the whole pizza at once, because then it won't work out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Navana.
You're welcome. Okay, anybody else has any question? Okay, Priyanka has said how to command the mind with repeated pain or hurt that comes at full speed every other day. And then it keeps happening. Priyanka, I know you personally, which is why I will tell you, because your issues have deep traumas and deep issues which you need to work. Because see, guys, I have to tell you something as well. All the tips that I have given you is for daily working. It's a starting point, but it's not the end of the journey. Okay, and healing happens in layers. It's like peeling, layer and layer of onion, 5%, 10%, 20%, and one day you become the whole. And there is a lot of things that we are carrying from our childhood. And inner child healing is something, I suggest to almost everybody. 4 out of 5 people who come, I tell them, go for inner child healing, because 70 to 80% of our adult life thoughts is based on inner child, what we have absorbed between 0 to 7 years of our life. Because 0 to 7 years of our life, children are like sponge. The analytical and the logical skills haven't developed yet. So they're just absorbing everything. And that is what puts you in an autopilot mode later in your life. Now, you are not going to, allow a child to be a driver of your life, to be on the driver's seat. Your life will be totally messed up. And I'll give you a simple example. Somebody told me, oh, my childhood has been normal. I don't need an inner child and inner child therapy. And I'm like, let's go and find out. And what happened is that this person was always attracting very challenging relationship and challenging careers in her life. And something that is peaceful and nice is boring for her. She needs to go through obstacles and difficulties and then achieve something, and then she feels fulfilled. And every time the challenge it goes higher and higher up for him. So what happened when we did inner child? We found out, like, when she was in the womb state in her, during her mother's pregnancy, her mother went through a lot of stress and anxiety, which means her mother's cortisol level was very high. So when the cortisol level is very high during pregnancy, the cortisol is in the amniotic fluid, which the fetus is also absorbing, and you are not even born yet. So as a baby, even before she was born, her cortisol set point was already set very high. So these children, when they grow up, they're always looking for challenging relationship, challenging careers. So we had to work through this again, reset her cortisol point, do inner child healing. And yeah, but I am very happy to see that today she is married with children. She is very happy and fulfilled in both her work life and her family life. So yeah, Priyanka, I think I have answered your question. You need inner child healing. So anybody else, any question? No? Okay, wonderful. I think we have already gone more than 1 hour. Thank you so much, everybody. Know that, your true wealth is your emotions and your thoughts. You want to be really rich, really wealthy in your life. Your emotions and your thoughts need to be very rich and very wealthy. I have clients for many years now from my corporate times, and they have grown up in their social ladder. They're now VPs of companies, vice presidents, and board members. And when I see them, they have accumulated a lot of money in their bank balance, a lot of social presence. But they ask me, Navana, if I attend your workshop, will I get peace? And that says something. Your true wealth, your true richness is your emotions and your wealth. And that will give you a rich family life, emotional life, work life, everything. Thank you, everybody. It was wonderful to have you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was
Thank
brilliant.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.